Okay, this is video 2 in the series of how to create decal images using Inkscape. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so in the first video we did the background. In this video we're going to do the ribbon. So let's just see here. First thing we want to do is add a new layer, and we'll call it ribbon. Okay. Now, what we're going to do now first is pretty much exactly the same thing we did on the video 1. We're just going to put in a bunch of nodes, use the smooth icon, smooth them out, and then just tweak it. So let's just go ahead and start. We're going to start right here. And all I'm going to do is just outline this. Oops, I better choose the right tool. There we go. All I'm going to do is just outline it with the node tool. I'm not going to get into too much detail. And we'll talk about why when we get into the second part of this video. So, here, 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 here. Okay. Now we're coming over to here, just like we did on the arc before. And again, same rules. 2 points on these curves for simplicity. Here, you see, I'm just outlining it. I'm not trying to get too fancy. And now over to the left and finish it off, just like we did before. Big red square, click, and we're done. Change tool to the edit. And we'll start with the top line, and we'll just kind of, for now, we'll just move it up here. And for this one, we'll just move it up here. And then we'll take these right here and we'll pull them out. So basically now it's just tweaking this so I get it to be exactly the same as it, just like we did last night, or excuse me, on the first video. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pause this, and I will finish tweaking all these lines. And when I come back, we'll talk about how we're going to finish it up by adding these lines right here. And we'll introduce you to the snap tool. But you see, all these lines have to be added in. So. Be right back. Okay, here we go. I've got it pretty much done. I think that looks alright. Curves all look good and smooth, and the line looks about right. Now, one of the things that I do use a lot is shortcut keys or screen keys, and those can be found right here. This is an online reference, and the ones that I use most are the control key and the alt key, along with the arrow keys to move selected objects or to pan the screen. Like I say, they're all right here. Take a look at this. Spend some time looking at this, because this is some very good information right here. Okay, next thing, we need to put these curves in here, these curves in here, this line here, and the same thing over on this side. These lines are just very simple. They're just a click and a click, and you have to put a node and a line at Bezier curve in there, just straight lines. Put a couple of them in, use the control and the D key to clone them, and then just paste them across. So, okay, so let's talk about how we're going to do it. Let's just start right here. I'm going to use the plus key to zoom in, and the control arrow keys to pan over. There we go. And then I'll pan up. So the one I'm going to work on right now is right here. So again, same thing, node tool. Except now I'm going to come up here and I'm going to turn on, this is your snap tools. I'm going to enable snapping, and if I look at it, this will snap to paths and handles. That's what I want to do, because I want to be able to snap to this path and this path. So I'm going to add a couple of nodes here. And there, see the X? Bingo. And I'm just going to hit the enter key, and that finishes that. Now I'm going to take my edit tool. I'm going to grab this guy, and I'm going to move him over here. And there, see it turning into an X and a red square? Let that go. And that's snap. Now these are all perfectly aligned. And now I can go ahead and do the same thing I've done before. And I'm going to smooth this one. And this one as well. And now we'll use the handles to tweak this with. And there we go. Whoops, didn't want to do that. And this I need to move up just a little bit. Now, this should be a little rounder right in here. So I'm going to take this node and I'm going to move it down a little bit. Like so. And now I'm going to take this and move it up. And you can see it's starting to get pretty good. There'll be some overlap here in this Bezier curve, but that's just, you have to live with that. There we go. And this I'm going to move a little bit. Here again, we're just tweaking these. What I'm trying to do now is get this line in the middle of this one over here, like so. Okay, I'm going to pull this out. And I'm going to do the same thing down here. And there we go. I'll come back over here. Now, I'll come over here to this. I'm going to select this just to see what I've got over here. 1.851. So now I'll select this one and I'll do the same thing. 1.851. And hit enter. And there we go. Now, I want to look at this piece right here. So I'm going to scroll over a little bit. And I'm going to zoom in, scroll over. And you see I've got a little bit of a thing here. See that? And a little bit here. So I'm going to fix that by tweaking these a little bit. There. Now I'm going to take this. I'm going to move it up like so. I'll move this down a little bit and tweak it. There. Now I can zoom out. And that looks pretty good. Okay, I'm going to do one more. I'll start right here. I'm going to do this curve right here. Well, actually, let's do this one right here. Right here. Right here. Right here. And there's my X. Just snap to that line and hit the enter key. Back to my tool. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit and pan over so I can see what I'm getting a little closer to my work. I'm going to take this up here. Again, notice I'm getting some overlap here. Okay, I'm going to smooth this one. And I'm going to smooth this one as well. Let's put that, make that a cusp. There we go. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to move this in a little bit closer, right there. Where'd my handle go? There we go. There. Okay, I'm going to take this and move it just a touch. So I got my line about in the center here. This looks like it needs to move. I'm going to press the Alt key, the up arrow, and the left arrow. There we go. And over here, 1 point, I think it was 861, I believe. Enter. And that looks pretty good. I think I'm going to smooth this one here. There we go. I'm going to move this one a little bit up into here. There we go. Okay, let's go out and take a look at it. And that looks pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pause the video here. And then when I come back, we should have this all completely done. I may show you how I do a couple of these lines in here just so you can see how they're done. That's it for now. Okay, there we go. Got all the curves in. Now, one of the things that I didn't mention, and I should, is something called the Z order. When you're putting lines and curves onto a layer, those lines and curves and objects actually go on in kind of a layer, kind of like pancakes, one on top of the other. The first line that gets down is on the bottom, and then they up, up, up. And that's why the first thing I did was to do this outline. And the reason for that is because that's on the bottom layer, and everything else I put on will be on top of it. So when I do a fill on the outline, like this, it doesn't overwrite all of these little curves that I added afterwards. Okay, so that's what we have so far. I've got to add the little lines that do the shading, and that's about all there is left to do here. So let me just take this off, and let me just zoom in a little bit here, and I'll show you how we do those. They're actually pretty simple. Just one here, one there, and then hit the enter key to stop that one, and then do the same thing here. And again, you just do that and keep on doing it until you get all this little shading done. And you might want to see, this one looks like it's a little bit bent. Oop. And go here and here and hit the enter key and continue on with that. And if some of them are a little bit curved, you see this one looks to be slightly curved, so we'll just take that out, just curve it a little bit. Okay, and we'll just zoom out, and now we'll turn the fill back on as soon as I select it. Turn the fill on, and there you can see we're starting to get our shading in. So alright, I think that's pretty much all for this particular video. Video 3, we will start talking about how we do these letters, which is actually probably the hardest part of all. So until next time. Alright, I hope you enjoyed video 2. I will be working on getting video 3 out sometime within the next few days. Have a good one.